I come to you live and in color from my kitchen. So, welcome.
It's good to be here with you.
It's really nice to have you. And honestly, the very fact that I'm chatting with a US Senator from my kitchen shows you that this is not a normal day in the Senate. So, please tell us what's going on there right now.
I'll just pull it down to the bumper sticker. It's billionaires win and families lose. That's what this is about. And there'll be lots of, grinding it through to make those gears turn. But the Republicans believe, because they have more than 50 votes, they believe that they can not only give an estimated, I hope you're listening, $5 trillion in tax cuts, mostly sucked up by billionaires and giant corporations, and take that out on the backs of hardworking people. By the way, they just said part of it out loud. I think it was this morning. Yeah, they'll take a big hunk of that out of Social Security as well. So
Why not? Why
why
not?
not?
Why not
Why
take
not?
it out of Social Security and
Exactly.
Medicare and, Meals on Wheels and the things that people need? I
Bingo.
mean, look at me. Like Elizabeth, I'm sitting here in my kitchen. You're often in like your sunroom. We're just regular people living our
Yeah.
regular lives, right? We don't have billions of dollars. I don't even think most Americans can conceptualize how much
Yep.
$1 billion is. And when
Yep.
we start talking about taxing these super rich people, it's like not you regular people that earn money and might be rich. We're talking about people that are not buying mansions. We're talking about people that are buying countries, people that are buying governments, right? And like where we are right now, what the Democrats are hoping to do, which I assume will be all night event, is to draw attention to what the
Yes.
Republicans are doing because you can't actually stop them from doing
Yeah.
what they're doing right now because they have 53 votes in the Senate. They
Mhm.
only need 50 plus one for this reconciliation bill. But the goal of the opposition party here is to do what? What are you guys trying to like draw attention to?
It's to make sure everybody sees that this is the Republican plan.
Yeah.
Big tax cuts for billionaires paid for by working families. By the way, don't have to take my word for it. We've already had vote number one, and vote number one said, put up by Democrats, no tax cuts for billionaires. We can talk about everything else, but let's just start with no tax cuts for billionaires. And guess what happened? Every single Republican came in and voted no.
See, this is the kind of optics that I think the people in the country need to see.
Yep.
Like you put it out there, you know that probably the amendments you put out today will get voted against every single time. But what's essential for people to understand about this moment is that you're saying, here are our priorities.
Yep.
We think billionaires should not get tax cuts. And the Republicans have to vote, and they say, we don't think that.
Yep.
And most Americans would say, hold on, you don't? And I think it's important that the people can see where our priorities lie because this thing that we call votapalooza or votorama, is
Yep.
like a chance for the minority party who really is out of power, in this case, the Democrats, to call public attention to the issues that Republicans might otherwise get away with ignoring or pretending aren't there because they don't have to bring them up for a vote. But in this case, because of reconciliation and because of these rules for today only, you guys can bring things forward and everyone
Yes.
has to vote. Is that right?
Exactly right, Lee. And that's the deal. What the Republicans would like to do is go straight to their tax package and describe their tax package as and we are going to have more efficiency and less waste and some tax changes, and it's all going to pay for itself, and it'll all be fabulous, fabulous, fabulous rainbows and candy canes, and it's going to be terrific. This is our chance to force them to have to take a vote. So, will you guys at least promise that there won't be tax cuts for billionaires? And they all got to get out there on the record with the cameras rolling and say, no, I don't want to promise that because I kind of like those tax cuts for
And I
billionaires.
answer
Force him
to
out.
X, Y, and Z corporation, or I'm getting my money from X, Y, and Z
Yep.
industry, and that's what I have promised them. Not that's what I've promised the American people.
Yeah.
I can say whatever I want on Fox News or on TV and say, we're here fighting for you, and we really want your lives to be better. But when the rubber hits the road, their vote is for the very, very rich. And I think that's what you guys are kind of trying
Yeah.
to draw attention to.
Tonight is when the rubber hits the road on those issues. Can't stop them, but we can damn well make sure they have to own it.
That's what I'm doing. I want to make sure that people
Good.
know that that's what's happening because I think most Americans are not flipping watching reconciliation bill
Yeah.
votes and they don't know about Votorama and they don't know why you guys are all there in the middle of the night. They're like, I don't know what's happening. You guys recently stayed in the middle of the night to vote against another terrible, terrible choice for the cabinet.
Yep. RFK. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And yet that they still got through. But I think it's very important to put yourselves on record as what your values are. And that's what you're trying to do now.
You know, I really like the way you frame this, Lee, because I think you're exactly right. I see this, for example, with these nominees. These are really some horrible people. The Secretary of Defense, someone who has been credibly accused of sexual assault, someone who repeatedly has been falling down drunk at work events, and someone whose business experience consists of running a business straight into the ground. And look, at the end of the day, we couldn't stop it. The Republicans had the votes and pushed him through. But here's the thing, we didn't give it away for free. We didn't
Yeah.
let it just pass under the radar. We said in a big, loud voice, holding up the signs, this is who this guy is. And now every single Republican who voted for him has to own that and has to own it every single day. And when this guy has trouble in the future, and I predict that he will, they're all going to have to own it, and they're going to have to go back to their voters in 26 or 28 and say, sure, I voted for that guy, knowing what I knew at the time, because it's all on the record. So I get it. We don't have a lot of tools here, but the tools we have, we are using. And that tool is to make sure that the American people understand what the Republicans are selling and what they are going to do to this country. Our job right now is to get those Republicans on the record with those terrible nominees, on the record with their big plan, and that is tax cuts for billionaires and make everybody else pay for it.
And I think it's really important that people understand that, because I think most of us don't. And I think most of us think you guys are out there doing your job and it might not affect me. But in this case, what their budget is, what they're making cuts at, what they're doing right now to our entire federal government will affect every single American,
Yeah.
red, white, and blue. It doesn't matter who you are. It's going to affect you. It doesn't matter who you voted for. It's going to affect you. And I think it is important to get people on the record saying that, because I think a lot of people don't know that you guys are out there fighting for us. It seems quiet. People feel like, does anyone pay attention? And how come they're getting everything accomplished? So I think it's very important that you guys are talking to us now, that you're saying like, hey, I'm going to join Lee in her kitchen. I'm going to explain what we're doing here and tell the American people that we are actually out here fighting for you. We know we're going to take a vote and they're going to vote against us, but we want you to know that we're fighting for you and you can see it through our actions. So
Yep.
thanks so much for joining me today. I know
You
you're in the
bet.
middle of it. Good luck. Keep the fight up and I'll talk to you again.
Let's do that.